For the first time, my life made a change for the better when I decided to come to MECCA. I've stumbled along the way, but I continue to get better every day. I'm learning how to change the way I look at things.
I'll never forget the day I walked through those doors. I was so scared and so broken down. I knew this was my last chance or I would die. The first person I came into contact with was the nurse. She put her arm around me and told me that everything would be okay.
After suffering years of domestic violence and substance abuse, I turned to drugs to escape the constant torment in my home. I doubted my self-worth and my ability to be a good parent, so I made the decision to give up custody of my kids. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do. I struggled for years and came to a point where I doubted the value of my own life.
Substance abuse doesn't discriminate. As a senior citizen, I was one of the oldest students to come through MECCA's OWI class. The last activity involved writing a letter to someone I knew, someone I wanted to protect from having future problems with alcohol by sharing what I had learned. I chose me. I addressed the letter to myself because this class truly was an eye-opener for me. I think I only have about 5 years left, but I want to make them healthy ones.
I knew I couldn't live with or without drugs and alcohol and didn't know if anyone was capable of fixing me. All the shame and guilt of my life was becoming a reality, and all I could do was cry. I'd lost count of how many places I'd lived and how many jobs I'd lost by the time I reached treatment. I only had the clothes on my back and a small suitcase. I'd lost everything. That's where my addiction had taken me, and MECCA turned it all around.
Every Saturday, I looked forward to visiting time. It was a break from group sessions, and I got the chance to see my daughter. She would ask me, "When are you coming home, Daddy?" The truth is, I didn't know the answer, but I'd promised myself I'd never lie to her again. The best I could do was to tell her it was like a hospital here, but that my illness was a little different than a broken leg. Daddy just needed a little more time to heal.
I've gained a lot in my life. A new job, a bank account, a new sense of responsibility, and a whole new perspective. I see people from my old life, and instead of thoughts of using drugs myself, I realize that I don't want to go back to that life. Most importantly, I've gained a new relationship with my dad. He finally has a reason to be proud of me.
After 15 years, I'm sober, and I know the reasons for staying that way are good ones. I strive to be the best husband and father I can be, and with a second baby on the way, I have a renewed sense of excitement about being a good dad. Before treatment, I felt like I had a million reasons and motivations to drink. Now I realize the only true important motivation is my family, the very best reason to stay sober.
I know there are still hurdles ahead. I have healing to do with my kids and bills to pay, but with a newfound belief in my ability to provide for myself, my family, and my community, I know I can cope with whatever lies ahead.
Today, 3 years after I stepped foot in MECCA, I am sober and working. I'm becoming the more truthful father I always hoped I'd be, and someone my daughter can finally depend on.
I'd like to thank all of the people at MECCA for helping me give myself a chance to turn my life around. I wouldn't be where I am without the help and guidance of each and every one here.